Ji'Ayir Brown.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure we get it right.
AKA Tig.
What's this past, I guess, like 2 weeks now? What's it been like for you since you heard your name called to where you are right now, standing in front of us?
I ain't stopped smiling yet, so it's been a amazing past 2 weeks. You know, I'm still, you know, in just like this crazy like moment. Like I was smiling all day on the field today during a walkthrough, so it's just wow to me, and it's an amazing feeling.
Is it even more amazing when you hear, you know, the cheers erupt in the draft room, when you hear people inside the organization talking about like you were a consensus pick that everybody stood on the table for and wanted here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's, you know, this organization has a great staff. Like when I came here on my top 30 visit, like I just was, you know, so amazed by how well we connected. You know, me and Coach Wilkes, me and John Lynch, it's just been, you know, like a bond from the jump. So I was like, if I can get to San Fran, man, I love San Fran. And then I end up going to San Fran. I knew as soon as I slipped the third round, I said, the kind of connection we had, they gotta come get me. And when they came and got me, it was just sky's the limit from there.
And did you hear about?
Did you know
about
they
the
traded
trade?
up first? Or
Yeah.
did you get the call before?
I got the call before they traded up. So they told me they were trading up, and then it just like was happening like simultaneously. Like as soon as they said it, it was happening. I'm like, man, it's crazy. And I couldn't even, everybody was screaming around me, so I couldn't even really hear the coach on the phone. So I'm like, who I'm talking to? I'm like, oh, it's Shannon. I don't know who it is. So everybody just yelling. So it was crazy though. It was a crazy night. I couldn't put it in words how amazing and how excited I was.
It's clear that at some point they want you and Talanoa Hufanga to be the two guys at safety. I'm wondering, have you watched him and what you think about that potential dynamic, having him and you in the same secondary?
He's a great player. You know, just watching the film, trying to learn the system, trying to, you know, be a sponge. You know, he's a guy I look at 24/7. You know, I think he does a lot of things right. You know, and he's definitely a player you can model your game after. So all ups to Huff. I call him Huff. All ups to Huff. And you know, if the coaches think that is best for me and him to be together, you know, then that'll happen.
How valuable do you think it could be to have a guy like Deshaun Gibson, a veteran who's been around for a long time, in your first year?
It's amazing, you know, having a vet in any, you know, aspect of life. You know, somebody that can walk you through the same steps they walk through. You know, can give you advice, and you know, I feel like experience is the best teacher. You know, who has more experience than him on the squad. So it's a blessing to be working with him too.
Ji'Ayir, you played basketball in high school and you know, I think led New Jersey in steals.
Yes.
How much of that basketball background helps you with your break on the football?
I feel like basketball and football work hand in hand a little bit. You know, just sliding, shuffling, you know, same kind of movements that football give you, and instinct. You know, working my instinct on the basketball court, knowing somebody's finna pass it, jumping in the lane. Same thing as the football world, you know, when somebody finna pass it, jump in the lane, and just take the ball away, you know, and that's something that I've been doing for a long time, and I want to continue to do that.
What kind of connection do you have with Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator?
We had you know, it was almost like a father-son talk when I was on my top 30 visit. You know, he's a great guy. He has a vision for this team that I follow, you know, and he gave me some words of advice that, you know, I will forever carry with me.
He just
Can you
told
share
us that he sees you as you could possibly be the future here. How does that make you feel when you've got a coach that supports you that way?
It just gave me chills a little bit, but it's a blessing, you know. I gotta definitely go out there and put the work in and make it happen, but it's a blessing to have a coach that believes in you that much.
What was the advice that he gave you?
That's a personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry, we just met with him for the first time, and he does seem to, you know, he's been an NFL head coach. He does seem to have, talking about Steve Wilkes, does seem to have a very commanding presence. Did that strike you that, like, okay, this guy, you know, is quite quietly confident and knows who he is?
Yeah, just to be, you know, a coach for this organization, you have to have a, you know, commanding presence. We're trying to, you know, do big things here. In order to do that, you got to be hard on guys. You got to be commanding. You got to be, you know, willing to sacrifice. You know, so I think Coach Wilkes, you know, has all those qualities.
the defensive player of the year isn't here, but is there someone that when you walked through those doors, you kind of looked at and said, oh, wow, yeah, I'm teammates with him?
He'll probably be the guy when I see him. You know, I think about that all the time, like who I got on that line, and I haven't seen him yet, so I can't even tell you, you know, what it's like. I haven't seen a lot of guys yet. They're not up here. They're up here, but not around us right now.
You're looking forward to starting your first official game is going to be back in Pittsburgh, so Pennsylvania. So you can't escape it.
Yeah, definitely looking to go back to Pittsburgh, play against Joey Porter. And, you know, Pittsburgh has a great staff too. I had a nice connection with them as well, so it's going to be great to go out there and compete.
So your college coach, Poindexter, played with Rondé Barber, who played with John Lynch, right? Kind of a little connection there. Did you watch much John Lynch? Is that something that safeties look at just in his playing career?
You know, you hear of John Lynch, you know, since I was a kid, you know, one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the greatest, you know, so you hear about him growing up, you know, but when you see him, you know, it's a whole different, like, wow, like, that's really you know, but, you know, it's a blessing to have John Lynch, you know, as a guy I can reach out to, you know, and talk to about the safety position.
And the fact that he's the guy who drafted you.
Yeah, exactly. That must mean a lot. You know, he has an eye for the position, so he must like some things I do on film that's pretty good, and he traded up to get me, so it's a good feeling.
Where does your work ethic come from? I know this team's definitely looking at you as a character guy, as a locker room guy. Where does that work ethic come from?
The way I grew up, my upcoming, grew up in you know, rough neighborhoods, and where it was very little opportunities. So when I did get my opportunities, I learned to capitalize on them and give it 100%. I want to live a life with no regrets, you know, so anytime I step out on that field, anytime I do anything where it's an opportunity I'm being given, I give it 100% just because I don't want to have that regret of not giving 100%. So that's just who I am.
Sounds almost like the first couple days of, or maybe the couple weeks have been a little bit starstruck for you.
Nah, not really. You know, I believe that I'm a star as well. You know, so just I'm just trying to build the relationship with the guys, and you know, that's my biggest thing. You know, here, just trying to bring something special to San Fran. So.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.